Peace, y'all. What is good? And welcome to Human Design Tarot. This is Jason, also known as Buddha AQ, and the AQ is for Aquarius because what a time it is to be alive, and also because I'm an Aquarius. And just like I've said on the previous readings for the manifestors, man-gens, and pure generators, just starting something new for 2023, doing human design readings. This time we're going to do projectors, finally get into projectors. Actually, if you look at my last two videos, I did not have a tablecloth, and now I got a tablecloth. So we're moving up in the world. So just getting started, again, I will say that for this particular reading, I'm just going off of the aspects of each energy center. So it doesn't really matter if you have, the centers open or defined. I may say something about it if it, if I feel called to, but other from that, I'm just going off of the aspects of the energy center. And this is kind of just really, what you need to do to kick off 2023 to, basically make it go the way you desire it to go. This is a 7-year in numerology, so you can really have a big spiritual awakening, spiritual shift. A lot is going to have to deal with where your mind is at. I know we don't make decisions from our mind in human design, but we do bring forth thoughts and ideas that manifest into this reality. So it really is going to matter where your mindset is, and again, always use your inner authority to make the biggest decisions and take action. So let's get started. Start off with the headspace. Let's see what comes up for the headspace, or the crown center, which deals with inspiration, thoughts, and ideas. What's coming up for that? So let's see. Seven of Wands, Ace of Cups, and Three of Pentacles. So, it looks like you may be starting to kind of like not really care what anybody thinks, because it caring, and this is perfect for a projector. I'm a projector as well. Caring what people think, do not, like, it doesn't bring any type of fulfillment, right? Especially as projectors, we want to be seen. We have that need to be seen and recognized. And so we do care a lot about like what people think, and that just doesn't fulfill us. And so I think we're really stepping into, especially as projectors, like we're going to be, oh wait, I don't even think y'all can see that. Sorry about that. Just looked at my phone and realized that it was off camera. But yeah, projectors are really going to be looked at like coming up in the future. If you ever, really looked into human design, like there's going to be there's going to be another shift, really tapping in to being one with nature and stuff like that, or just one with, natural order coming 2027. And, the guidance is going to be, people are going to need that guidance from projectors, especially one-on-one guidance. We do very well with one-on-one guidance. But yeah, and because of that, I think a lot of projectors, just as it shows right here, we're not really trying to, battle being seen, or like fighting to put ourselves out there and being, feeling unfulfilled when we aren't recognized. And that's because we're not supposed to initiate. We're supposed to just wait for these invitations to come, and from that, there will be growth. Like you'll see the growth in invitations, the growth in just yourself overall, and all aspects. And so You know, I think this is a good, oops, I think this is a good like start to this reading, just kind of showing like as projectors, we're really like, we're learning to just recognize ourselves and not have to, you know, have anybody's recognition. I mean, well, we kind of do, because you know, being recognized is our thing, but like we let it come, we're letting it come to us. We're not forcing it anymore, you know. So let's see. Let's move on to the third eye, the ajna, the mind, which deals with processing information. So how are we processing this information of these thoughts and ideas that are coming into our head, like kind of just telling us like, hey, look, no, don't fight to be seen anymore. Just, you know, display whatever it is that you're good at, display your knowledge. Don't solicit it to anybody, you know, as far as like asking them to, you know, hey, do you need this? Do you want this? You know, this is what I'm good at. Like, no, just, hey, look, get on social media or wherever it is, you know, maybe out in public, maybe at your local, wherever, I don't know. And wherever it is that you can just kind of just put your knowledge out there, but not really ask, you know, who wants the help. Like the help is gonna, I mean, the request for the helper is gonna come regardless, just by putting yourself out there. All right, so let's see. Yeah, so, you know, we were processing that. The reason that this realization of we don't need to like fight for attention anymore is because we've been feeling defeated, you know, as projectors. We've been feeling defeated. And we don't like that feeling. We don't want to feel it anymore, you know? And by putting ourselves out there, we were not getting the abundance of whatever it is that we want, you know, whether that be financially, whether that be in love, whether that be in just recognition, just being seen. Like we weren't getting that. But here, the Five of Pentacles in reverse, like we're no longer going to experience that, you know, that scarcity of abundance, of you know, and being in a scarcity mindset because we don't physically see it coming in. You know, we're starting to learn more of our strategy of waiting for the invitations, you know, and that's bringing, you know, that's bringing in the abundance. Like we just need to go off of, you know, not looking for the recognition and just use whatever your inner authority is. Mine is splenic, you know, which deals with intuition, you know, and you can see she's, whatever choices that she needs to make, she's not using her physical, you know, eyesight to see, you know, she's letting, you know, the water in the background, water is intuition. She's going off of that. So, and it doesn't, if you're not splenic, I know the spleen center deals with intuition and instincts and stuff. But if you're not splenic, then just go off of whatever your, you know, whatever your inner authority is, and just use that instead of like trying to force, you know, a choice, or trying to force your whatever it is that you're trying to like be seen as, or force whatever it is that you're trying to be recognized for out there into the world. Like just flow, you know, just flow and watch things come and just move accordingly and go with what feels right in your inner authority, you know. So let's look at the expression manifestation from the throat center. Okay, so we need to really evaluate what it is that we truly want, you know, what we and what's truly like meant for us. I don't know what everybody's profile is, but I'm a 1-3. I know that when it comes to anybody with a 3 in the profile, like trial and error is a thing. And even when it comes to the other profiles, whether it's, you know, a 1 and just knowing, like, I think like evaluating what we really like find to be true for us, and knowing what's true for us is, you know, something that we need to look at, you know, and not allow any of the outside influences to, you know, especially get into our open centers and influence us anymore, you know. And that's going to bring like what's basically yours is going to come in, you know. And so that goes for any profile, you know, even like the 4s who kind of need relationships, and, you know, the 2s that need their time to ourselves, like especially the line 2s, like that's what y'all do. Y'all go in and evaluate, you know, y'all go in hermit mode and y'all evaluate. So yeah, and even the 4s and the 5s, evaluating relationships, you know, evaluating the people that want to hear what you have to say, the things that you want to, you know, share and teach and just, you know, help people understand things, you know. And the 6s, just evaluating the stage that you currently are in, and seeing what wisdom you can pick up from what you've already experienced, you know. So for all lines, like, you can go in and evaluate what is truly meant for you, what's yours, you know, what you need to be, like, not need to be bringing in, but what you know is coming in for you, right? If that makes sense, you know, because without doing that, you know, that leaves us in a state of like not being, you know, optimistic, or not having any hope for, you know, where we want to go going forward, because we have no clear view of our paths. So we have to go in and evaluate, just like this, like right here, you know, and when processing the information that's coming in from our thoughts and ideas and stuff that's coming in, like it's still a choice. Like, we have to evaluate which one, like what is best for us. So it's a time of like really going in and evaluating what's ours, what we want to do, and, you know, expressing that through, you know, whatever channel that you can put it out through. You know, again, we're not going out there and soliciting ourselves to, you know, guide people in the way that we, you know, for all of our individual like things that we're into, but we're just showing like our value just by putting it out there. So let's move on to the self center, which deals with identity, love, purpose, what direction we're going in. So don't we don't need to be worrying about like we don't need to be worrying about like who is going to see us, right? Like who is going to give us that recognition that we want. Because I know there's a lot of people that we have important in our lives that we want that recognition from, and we have to realize like some of those people have kind of, you know, been the ones to influence us and condition us in certain ways to where we expect that recognition in certain ways that we're not meant to like get it in those certain ways, you know, like we're expected to do certain things and that we don't really, you know, our energy isn't set up the same way as like generator or, you know, any other, you know, it's kind of similar to like reflectors and somewhat similar to manifestors. They don't have as much energy as generators and man-gens, but we live in a generator and man-gen world. And so like the way that we're taught that we have to be to get that recognition, to gain that success, you know, we've been conditioned by certain people that we hold close to us, that we, you know, look up to or have looked up to, and whether that be friends or mentors or, you know, teachers, parents, whatever, you know, like people that we're in relationships with, and like we, you know, we've taken that in, but we're coming into the real, oh, you probably can't see all the way up there now that I moved them up, but, you know, going back to the first row, we don't, you know, we're coming into like knowing that we don't need to be fighting to put ourselves out there anymore. So like when it comes to knowing who we are, like we're starting to honor ourselves. We're starting to honor our energy, our strategy, our inner authority, you know, and just flowing, like I said before, just flowing with what comes to us, and just using our inner authority to know what moves we need to make, like what feels right, what feels like you know, knowing our purpose, because this is the self-centered road. So just knowing our purpose and moving on with, you know, moving forward in that. So let's see the heart. Yeah, the heart, willpower, manifesting what you want by knowing your purpose. Let's see what else comes out for the heart. Willpower, our wishes for ourselves, our ego. And in a way, you kind of like have to like use your ego to your advantage. Like know that the guidance that you have to offer, the value in that, know it, you know. Yeah, so, you know, just manifesting what we want by knowing our value, right? And it'll bring that fulfillment, you know. It'll bring that coming together with those who you're meant to guide, you know. It'll, like, those people will come, and you'll be able to, you know, work with those that's meant for you, and not just chasing opportunities. Like, we don't need to be chasing any opportunities. We're supposed to be waiting for those invitations for opportunities to come to us. No more chasing, right? So manifest, like I said, knowing your value will